Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. My name is Noelle and I review and unbox subscription boxes here on my channel, and today I have another book box to share with you. It is once again the Once Upon a Book Club adult selection. This is the February box and this is one that I paid for. I am a subscriber, although occasionally they will send me one for review. Now this is one of the OG book subscriptions where as you are reading along you'll come to a page that has a sticky note and then you get to open the corresponding gift. It is always kind of fun to see the pages come to life in that way. I think they've gotten much better about the quality of the 3 to 5 gifts that come. We get a lot fewer of the paper gifts that were always sort of one of my pet peeves because I never really thought we needed a printed version of the letter that appeared in the book, what have you. They also include a quote card as well as often an author's note and a bookmark. They're kind of known for the quote card. Now what they do is they'll do hints for their adult, their young adult, and now they have a middle grader book, which I think is also really awesome for the younger readers in your household. And they will give you hints as to what the upcoming titles are. So a lot of the times they are new releases, so you can kind of figure out what they are if you stay up with all of the publishers. Now I have decided to skip the April box because it was another romance, and this February box was a romance, and I have just found that even though they're kind of fun and frivolous, it's just not my cup of tea, and I have so many other book boxes. But this was a fun read. I thought it actually sounded a little bit more like contemporary fiction when I read the hint for it, but it did turn out to be one of those kind of racy in sections romance novels, but I didn't mind. It was fine, and it did come with this lovely bright quote card. It says, "I want to be myself, the in the moment myself," and it is of course from this book by Kate Claiborne, Georgie All Along. So very bright. You can kind of see that it looks like chick lit, like romance, like right off the bat once you see the cover. So like I said, I'm going to be skipping the April one. I have the March box and I will hopefully be doing the May box as well. But if you are new to this idea but you think it sounds really fun, I highly suggest enjoying it. You can always switch back and forth between the adult or the young adult. And they also do some really fun limited editions. I am almost done with both of the Bridgerton boxes. I have a whole separate playlist for that if you've happened to miss that. But if you love the Bridgerton books and you want to see what Once Upon a Book Club did for their limited edition boxes, the monthly subscription is $49.99. Now that does include the shipping, the book, the gifts, the author's note, and we did actually get a signed book plate this time around, so I thought it was really cute. It says XO Kate, very adorable with the little heart there. And we also get our reading guide. So the theme, or sort of the title of the box itself, was The Life That Got Away. So they don't actually title it after the book, they title it after sort of the theme. And then inside we do have a nice interview with the author. They have read-along dates and discussions, and then they have a QR code for, I believe, their Facebook chat. Because they do have a pretty active Facebook group, but so that there's not spoilers, I think they do like a separate Facebook chat group. And then on the back, they just kind of have like a journal question for us. Sometimes they'll have more fun activities or like little mini articles. And this time around, it was just how we conquer life. Georgie created a friend-fic notebook to help her conquer high school. Create your own bucket list of things to do in order to make your life great in the moment. I mean, I just wouldn't probably fill it out on this page, but maybe it'd be a good journal prompt for some people. Anyway, you guys, if you are interested in subscribing, I do have a code for you. Sorry it took me so long to get to that. It's just Noelle10 and that'll save you 10%. I will leave a link for you in the description box below as well as that code. Again, it's just Noelle10 and it definitely helps me out because then I get some credit that I can use towards getting future boxes from Once Upon a Book Club. So let me just go ahead and read the blurb on the back, and then I will read the passages associated with the gifts inside and then show them to you. So if you haven't already read the book or you haven't already gotten through the box, you might not want to watch if you want to keep those gifts a surprise. I usually really enjoy like guessing what the gifts are going to be based on the passages anyway. So, all right, so it says, longtime personal assistant Georgie Mulcahy has made a career out of putting others before herself. When an unexpected upheaval sends her away from her hectic job in LA and back to her hometown, Georgie must confront an uncomfortable truth. Her own wants and needs have always been a disconcertingly blank page. But then Georgie comes across a forgotten artifact, a friend-fic diary she wrote as a teenager, filled with possibilities she once imagined. To an overwhelmed Georgie, the diary's simple, small-scale tale ideas are a lifeline, a guidebook for getting started on a new path. Georgie's plans hit a snag when she comes face to face with an unexpected roommate, Levi Fanning, one-time town troublemaker and current town hermit. But this quiet, grouchy man is more than just his reputation, and he offers to help Georgie with her quest. As the two make their way through their wish list, Georgie begins to realize that what she truly wants might not be in the pages of her diary after all, but right by her side. Shocker. It says if only they can both find a way to let go of the past that holds them back. Honest and deeply emotional, Georgie All Along is a smart, tender must-read for everyone who's ever wondered about the life that got away. So you can see, I mean, obviously that's like some built-in romance. Like, we knew she was going to fall for Levi Fanning, even though it was his younger brother that she had a crush on in the friend fic, which is something that I feel like was a generation after me. Like, we played MASH, but I didn't write friend fics where we like kind of wrote like our idealized life, like our idealized bedrooms or our crushes or anything. I didn't have one of those, but I guess a lot of people did it. So when I read that blurb, or when I read the hint, I really thought it was gonna be more about this person at a crossroads in her life and less about the like cute romance, and her just coming back to her town with her like hippie parents who happen to be out of town and stuff. But so it just was a little bit surprising genre wise for me, but it was still cute. You know, it was a little predictable in parts, but it was still cute. And I thought the writing was decent. So we did get 4 gifts for this. I'll go ahead and pull them out. So this is page 218, kind of matches the book, of course, because they do such a nice job with the packaging. We have page 110, page 331, and then early on, but at the bottom of the box, let me just get the box out of my way, was page 29, and this one just came like in a mailer bag. So let me go ahead and actually read this little section for you. If I get a chance to, I'll read the author's note, but let's see what we had for page 29, which I read this a couple of weeks ago, so I have to try to come back to it. So it is told in 2 voices. It's told in the voice of Georgie as well as Levi, so sometimes it's hard for me to remember whose chapter it is, even though it says at the beginning. So sometimes the sticky note is itty bitty because it comes towards the end of the page. So let's see. She is going to stay at her parents' house. So yes, this is in Georgie's voice. I rummage through the duffel, pulling out hastily rolled clothes and a couple of toiletry bags, all of which I leave on the rug while I search. Near the bottom, I find a candle wrapped in a pair of running shorts and also 3 loose tea bags, which is truly ridiculous, a sign of the chaotic rush state I was in when I finally, after putting it off as long as possible, packed up my few personal belongings. Finally, though, I find it. A thin, brightly colored, flower-patterned robe Nadia gave me during a closet clean-out a few years ago. Nadia is who she used to work for. It's got bell-shaped sleeves and goes all the way to the floor with a short train in the back, and it makes me feel like I'm on a soap opera. This is the kind of robe you put on when you've lost your job and your former teacher thinks you're pathetic, and also your best friend might think you are too. This is the kind of robe you put on when you're about to eat snacks and read a diary of your adolescent fantasies. This robe is for glamour, sarcastically. So, of course, I was like, maybe we'll get the snacks. No, of course not. So we got the robe, which becomes kind of a thing because she's supposed to just feel fancy, but Levi winds up really liking it. So she is technically back home to help her friend who is pregnant and about to have her first kid, who's also moved back from like kind of a high-powered job. And at the same time, she's just kind of figuring out what she's going to do because the director that she used to work for has decided to like rewild and go back to nature, not be in the biz anymore. So it is a really pretty pattern. Here is the tie for our robe. It just came on this piece of cardboard, so I haven't unfolded it because I knew I wouldn't be able to get it back in the box, but you know, it's silky. It doesn't have bell-shaped sleeves. I'm happy about that. They're just like elbow length, and it's just a nice silky robe. It is pretty long. It's not like one of those like little shorty ones, so it's probably going to be, I would say, like below the knee for sure. So it seems like it's going to fit a lot of people. It's a nice one-size-fits-all kind of thing. It's just kind of got that, you know, that sort of faux satin feel to it, but I thought this was a good one. It's not necessarily as fluffy and fanciful as the one I think that she wears in the book, and not as ratty, obviously, but I thought that was a good one to start with and kind of a nice thing to get when you're reading a fluffy book. So the next one that we had was on page, let's see, page 110, I think. So let's get to that one, and then I have to see again whose chapter it is, and I feel like this is Levi's chapter, okay. And again, it was like a little sticky at the bottom. Sometimes they're full squares. Let me see. So he has basically been helping out with some stuff at her parents' house when while Georgie's been gone and living in LA, and there was like a mixed communication because again her parents are like kind of hippies, and so they forgot that they had told Levi that he could stay there while his house is being like renovated essentially. So they wind up having to be roommates even though it wasn't planned. Good meet cute. So it says and he decides to make dinner for them. So he's made dinner because she's a terrible cook. It says and he always has this feeling of like the floor falling out from him, and he refers to it as like the trap door. So at first I think she must not have heard me, that my plate stacking drowned out the low guarded way I spoke. But when I steal a glance up at her, I see that she's watching me closely, intensely, all caution in her gaze gone. How do you mean? She says quietly. How do you mean a blank? I resist the urge to slam the trap door shut again. I'm the one who started this, and anyway, I don't think I could look away from her now. I can see the flicker flame of the not meant to be romantic candle in the bright pools of her eyes, and they look full of the kind of hope I'm not used to having directed at me unless it's about repairing pilings. Couldn't see where I fit. Couldn't see what everyone else seemed to see for themselves. That's for sure. College or a career, the family business, the family at all. She blinks, but it doesn't clear any of that hopefulness. She looks strung tight like a bow. For once, the opposite of expansive. He always describes her as expansive, this expansive Georgie. So he is from like a really prominent family in town, but he's been the black sheep. So he just always feels like he didn't fit, as kind of how Georgie feels too. But he's created this dinner. He like made a grilled pizza outside, and he like put a citronella candle out there because bugs. So page 10. 110. We got this little guy. Let me see if I can open it. And we got the not meant to be romantic citronella and lavender candle in a 10-ounce like paint can. I actually thought that was pretty cool. So you guys know I love getting a candle. I was really happy that it wasn't a paint can, that I needed a paint can opener. But yep, citronella and lavender. Not a super strong scent, I will say that, but I think that's a good thing. But this is a nice functional candle, and it's not super like Once Upon a Book Club branded, so I thought that was a good item to sort of highlight this moment in the book. So far so good. Our two gifts so far have been pretty good. By the way, you guys, let's have a secret password. Now, when you come across a secret password in one of my videos, you want to enter it along with your contact information in the Google form linked for you in the description box below. At the end of the month, I go through with a random number picker, and I select a few winners to receive a mystery box from me as my way of saying thank you for watching my videos and being subscribed. You do have to be subscribed to my channel. It doesn't have to be publicly. I can verify with you via email. You have to be 18 years or older, and you do have to have a Canadian or US mailing address. Although Canadians, for this month only, I am just doing gift cards for you, and then we'll go back to sending the mystery boxes up to the Great North. And just as a reminder, it is not affiliated with YouTube or any of the boxes that I open here on the channel. It's just my way of saying thank you so much. So our secret password for today is going to be citronella, to kind of go with our outdoor theme that we've been having so far with our passwords this month. So citronella, and I think that actually might be like our 7th secret password, you guys, so far this month. So you could have already had 7 entries, and if you're in the No-Bot Nook, then you get an extra entry every month. All right, so on page 218, let's see, whose voice is this one in? I gotta see, although I haven't been doing like a good Levi voice. I imagine him having this pretty like sexy, dark voice, maybe with a little bit of an accent, you know, because I kind of imagine them all being sort of southern country kind of folks. Let's see. Okay, so this is Levi. So it says, where did we go? It says, but beside me, I can tell Georgie's lost her nerve. She tugs at her ball cap, looks down toward her shoes. I hear the smallest, saddest sniffle. Hey, I say, reaching out and catching her elbow, pulling her against my side, getting my arm around her. The first thing I think is that I don't know what to be mad at, the spray paint can or the rock or maybe Annabelle. But when Georgie leans her weight against me, I don't want to be mad. I don't want to be anything but focused on her. So this is one of the bucket list things from her friend Fic, is that all the people like spray paint their names on this rock outside of campus. So she's decided that she has to spray paint her name there, and she's going to do it for her friend. She's going to do it for Levi, but she doesn't want him to get in trouble. And she's all dressed up like a cat burglar. So she like you know, is looking up at him all cute from her ball cap. So we have this very pink and yellow box. Again, very nice packaging. I love this one. All right, you guys. So you're gonna know, if you know me, you're gonna know what I'm gonna say about this. Cute. It says book nerd, but it's in rose pink. Why? Why does everything have to be in pink with Once Upon a Book Club? I'm telling you, it drives me nuts. So there's this piece of plastic in here. It's kind of cool though. So it's got Velcro back, so you can adjust it. It's got this open stretchy band, so you could put your ponytail through it. So you can see there's even for a high ponytail, you don't have to go with the low one. And then it has embroidered on there Once Upon a Book Club, which I don't mind that. I don't mind that branding. I kind of like the design that it is good for, you know, your ponytail there. And I don't mind that it says book nerd. But the thing is, it's pink, and why couldn't we just have like a more universal color? But also, because in the book, she's wearing a black ball cap. So let me see if I can find it. But she's dressed like a cat burglar, and that's what he makes, like, she makes a comment like, you're not dressed appropriately to commit a crime, because he's just dressed in regular clothes. Meanwhile, she's dressed like a ninja in all black. And so it even says so earlier on. It says, like, that she showed up. It says, I'm not going to spoil Georgie's fun and tell her that dressing in black boots, black leggings, a tight black turtleneck, and a black ball cap is actually not the way to dress when you're about to do a criminal activity. My inconspicuous jeans and long sleeve navy t-shirt are the better bet. So in the book, it's a black ball cap. Now, if we had gotten a black ball cap that had said book nerd, even in pink, or preferably white, or preferably black on black, that would have been super chic. That would have been a great gift, and I would have totally worn a book nerd hat. But no. Just kind of bummed. Just kind of bummed when I was like, the book told you it was black. Send us a black hat. All right, you guys, we have one more gift. I've stopped saying anything about the printed page numbers on the gifts because you guys heard that a million times, and actually I got some like clap back on that, so I'm not going to say anything about that. Except I know I just did. Our last gift was on page 331 towards the end of the book, and this is where you can see one of those full-size sticky notes. All right, you guys, it doesn't look like I'm going to have time to read the author's note, but here is page 331. Oh, so one of the other things in the friendfic, but it's not really in the friendfic, it's more like tradition of the teenagers in her town. It was like a rite of passage, like prom, you know, is that they would go to this cliff, basically, where you would jump into the lake, and you would write a wish on your arm in Sharpie and then jump in, which I don't know why, like, that I'm like, then it's just gonna be on your arm for days and days and days. It's not like it's gonna be a secret wish and it washes off when you jump into the lake. But anyway, that's what you were supposed to do. So they have a bunch of moments surrounding that. Like at one point she does it and she falls, and then they try to do it again. So now we're at the end. So it says they're together officially. It says, she knows I'm always game for trouble when it comes to her. I uncap the Sharpie. I think about that day again when I was the one handing over the marker, trying to get Georgie to forgive me. I think about the spirit of Buzzard's Neck. That's the cliff that you're supposed to jump from. The small wishes we were all supposed to write on our arms while we waited for a new school year to start. I don't have to be any kind of small. Not anymore. Not even with my wishes. Georgie watches me with anticipation while I turn my arm up, ready to write. I'm pretty sure she knows what I'm thinking. I'm pretty sure she knows I can do this by heart. I look up at her and set the marker against my skin, and I write the wish I'd wanted to make all along. Georgie, all along, right? So she realizes that she has been Georgie all along. He realizes that that is his wish all along. Very cute, tying the title in there, so it works for both characters. All right, so indeed, this is kind of a like silly little gift, but it is our secret wish marker. So it even says it, they had it like printed on there. It's a little Sharpie. I don't actually think it's brand name Sharpie, but it's a little marker. This is like a great thing to have though in your purse if you go to concerts, if you go to ball games, because you never know when you might get that autograph on a poster or your t-shirt or your hat or something. So that's what's gonna happen with my little marker. I'm gonna put it into my purse and then just have it ready, just, you know, in case I catch like a foul ball and I need to get it signed by some ball player, or at a concert, get somebody to sign my poster or something. So I thought that was a cute, very functional gift. Honestly, I thought the gifts in this box were fantastic. The hat quality seems really great. I just wish they hadn't given it to some rose pink and they'd followed the book a little bit closer. But overall, a pretty good one. You guys let me know what you thought about it in the comments below. If this is your favorite genre, I apologize. These are the ones I'm probably gonna skip just so that you don't get too many books every single month. It was fun. I enjoyed the gifts and I do really like this subscription and I hope that you do too. And if you got to this point in it and you missed the secret password, make sure you go back and find that secret password. Thanks so much for watching, you guys. Thanks so much for the thumbs up, and I'll see you soon in my next unboxing.